Let me get a little bit of coffee so I get a little bit of energy for you guys. So I don't bore you guys too much on a Friday morning before you guys all get off to your weekend. I'd like to thank you guys for all attending new member orientation. As Angie said, this is for the West San Gabriel Valley Realtors. My name is Kevin Kwan. I will be your instructor for your first half. Ignore that name on the bottom because we had a slight last minute change. I will be going over your membership and ethics. And then we will have Ling Chow go over the multiple listing services, which will be part 2 after our break. All right. Angie, I guess if there are any questions, if you can help me monitor those on the chat box. But I love questions. So hopefully you guys have a lot that you can ask me. Don't be shy. I think the best way in terms of learning is asking questions so you can really understand what the association can do for you, what we can do in terms of being a resource center for you as well too, as you guys start or restart your career in real estate. All right. Couple of housekeeping items. You must stay for the entire orientation program. Attendance will be monitored during the training session. So please make sure you stay on. And in order to receive your new member orientation refund, you also must complete the NAR Code of Ethics trainings. If you're a new member, please attend or visit nar.realtor, click on the education tab. And then there's going to be Code of Ethics training. And then there's a little section that says for new members, just click there. And then it'll take you to the take course now. And all you got to do is just follow the prompts from there. It'll be pretty simple and straightforward. And you guys are going to all do great past that. And then you guys can get your refund. All right. So what is our mission statement here at the West San Gabriel? Oh, I clicked too quick. At the West San Gabriel Valley Realtors, our mission is to advocate and enhance the interests of realtors. We're here to promote adherence to the Realtor Code of Ethics, which we'll dive into in detail as well too, so you guys don't get any violations. And also the professional competency of members. We're here to safeguard and preserve private property rights, and we're always mindful of cultural backgrounds within our communities, which we'll dive into a little of this as we get through the program. All right. I do need to make one little adjustment. Here we go. All right. Social media and text alerts. Here are some great ways so you can stay informed with our association. Number one, you guys should be using our website, wsgvar.com. This is going to be your go-to point to log into the MLS. Get very familiar with it. We also have tons of things on the website in terms of educational calendars, events that are going on at the association as well too. So please use that. That's literally what I log into every day, probably about 30 times a day, looking at properties, and so forth. All right. The other thing is follow us on our social media. We have Instagram. Our handle is WSGVR, or Facebook. If you look up wsgv.realtors, you'll be able to find us. We also have a YouTube channel. So we have a lot of recordings for you guys to watch. So if you want to go back into some of the topics that we've talked about in the past from our Thursday breakfast meetings, our president's messages, there's tons of resources on our YouTube channel for you as well too. And then we also have a Twitter handle, which is WSGVR. And then I know I skipped this, but I left it for last because I think it is the most important one out of all of this for you to stay connected, or at least it helps me stay the most connected, is if you guys can all just grab your phone right now and you just need to text WSGVR and then to the number 72727. Anytime we have something going on at the association, new topic, new speaker, educational programs, Thursday breakfast meetings, you'll get a text in regards to what we have going on here at the association. I know everybody gets bombarded with emails. We do get email blasts out to the members as well too. But I like text just because I get so much emails in my email box, and sometimes some of them go to spam. This is the best way to stay in touch with the association, what's going on. So if you guys just text 72 72 72 and then just type in WSGVR, you will automatically get inputted into our system. So anytime we have things going on at the association, you'll just get a live text update. All right. All right, don't miss an email. As I had mentioned, you guys will probably be getting some good amount of emails, informational stuff, things that are going on at our association. If you guys want to go back into your email box, make sure you add membership at wsgvar.com and also add info@wsgvar.com as an email contact. The reason why you want to do this is because we do have important information. If you don't do it, then most likely this is going to land in your junk mail eventually. So we don't want that to happen, because there's going to be important stuff that we send out via email, which we want our members to be in contact with, so they know everything that is going on at our association. Because really we're here to serve you, the members. All right. So we want to make sure that you don't miss any information that we put out there for you guys. All right. If you guys have not been to our association, that is the front door, that picture right there. We are located at 1039 East Valley Boulevard, Unit 205B. We're at the back end of the plaza. So if you come into the plaza, just drive all the way to the back, or there is a underground parking garage as you make your way probably about halfway through the parking lot. You would go up the escalators if you're coming in from the ground level parking. If you're coming in from the underground parking, there's stairs, or you can use the elevators to get you to the second floor. Once you go up the escalators, you hang a right and then hang a quick left, and you'll be at our beautiful association. Our hours of operations right now: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday, we are open from 8 to 5 p.m. And then currently open for front desk services and store purchases as well too. We also have a real estate service center and store. If you guys haven't been to the building, we have a huge, large auditorium, and then we also have some conference rooms there as well too. We'll be utilizing that much more once we get 100% out of this COVID. All right. Here are your superstars of the association. Get to know these people, because these people are the ones that help run our association, on top of our lovely staff as well too. You're looking at your 2022 board of directors. These are the movers and shakers of our association. These people are the ones that are making decisions on your behalf for the betterment of our futures. Currently, right now, our president, top left, Mr. Brian Chen, he's also a certified zip form instructor. He is our 2022 president. Our treasurer is Earl Knudsen. And then we have President-elect Ling Chow, who is going to be on right after me today. And then we have Pauline Lam, who's going to be our secretary. And then we have our vice president, Cecilia Rudar, we call her Sil. And we have our immediate past president, who has done an amazing job with us for actually back-to-back years, Mindy Ye. She's our immediate past president. That comprises of our main board of directors. And then we have some other directors that facilitate. We call those the executive committee. Those are the creme de la creme of our association. And then we have a couple of directors facilitating on the board as well too. We have Nanette Ong, Tom Sang, Thomas Wong, Shun Zhang, Jeff Huang, Lorraine Clark, and Marian Cavatayo. As we transition back into our regular daily lives, and you guys start to attend a lot of the meetings in person and events in person, please, if you ever see these, you recognize their faces based off of these pictures, say hello to them. If they're in your office, I would always also say, tell them thank you, because they do dedicate a lot of time, a lot of hours into making our association better. You're looking at all volunteers, even including myself. We volunteer our time away from our real estate business to help our association. Hopefully, this helps and inspire you guys as well too in the future, to give back to our association. I've been doing this for 16 years. I was a past president in 2016. It was probably one of the biggest highlights of my life, a big turning point in my career. And I decided to give back to this industry because I never thought a kid like myself would ever get anywhere in life. And I do owe it a lot to this real estate association. A lot of the people helping me along the way to get to where I am in today's world, I guess. So, I never thought I would really make anything out of my life, but real estate has really changed my life. And I think the only and best way to really give back is to help the new people coming into this industry. All right. On top of that, we have our lovely staff who really holds our association together, because without them, we would probably be in chaos. We have our lovely executive officer, Albert Tran. We have Angelica Morales. We call her Angie. She is taking over. So if you see Albert's picture down here in the views, it is really Angie that is on. She's our operations manager. Albert is our executive officer. He's the one in command of the entire association. We have the lovely Karen Snow, who's our accountant, who handles our books. We have Belin Barrios, who's our communications and events manager. Fong Tan, who's our education and store manager. And then most of you guys probably were either in touch with Angie or Christine Chen, who's our member support specialists. All right. So we'll give those all a round of applause whenever you guys see them at the association. Thank them as well too, just for all of their hard work to keep our organization running and running it at its full capacity. All right. All right, so a lot of you guys are probably thinking, why am I here? Why did I join an association? What is this all about? I'm here to help educate you guys about that. All right, so what is a realtor membership? It's basically a three-way agreement. What is that three-way agreement? You guys probably all heard of a place called NAR, or the National Association of Realtors. There's also CAR, also known as the California Association of Realtors. And then we have our local WSGVR, which is the West San Gabriel Valley Realtors. So it's a three-way agreement, which refers to the structure of the realtor organization. NAR is at the top. Then we are governed by our state, which is CAR. And then we have the local, which is going to be West San Gabriel. The realtor members are members of the state association and of where the association is located, and then also the national association. So you actually belong to all three of these associations now. And then all realtor members of WSUVR are also members of California and the National Association of Realtors. And this structure allows resources and influence to have a unified and powerful voice for shaping not only our public policy, which is very important to our industry, as well as recognizing standards for ethical real estate practice and to contribute to a better real estate industry. And we'll dive in a little bit deeper with a lot of these topics as to why do we have these associations, what is really the purpose, but it's really to keep ourselves much more organized. So we have rules and regulations of how we operate in the field. So we have standards of practices, so it's not like the wild, wild west. All right. So what to know about the realtor trademark and logos? I'm going to hopefully play this video. If not, Angie, you may need to help me. Let's see. Yes,
as you know, the real estate world can be really competitive. Standing out in a crowded market is crucial, but staying authentic while setting yourself apart is really the key to success. If you're a member of the National Association of Realtors, you use the Realtor mark to get eyes on you and your business and ensure those eyes see you as an honorable partner and trusted advisor. The Realtor mark means that you are more than a real estate agent. It signifies that you adhere to a code of ethics and that you are committed to protecting clients, the public, and other real estate professionals. It also tells people that you conduct business with integrity and provide high standards of real estate services. To ensure all members get the benefits of the mark, it's important that all members use it correctly. When it is used incorrectly, it diminishes the unique meaning of the mark and its value. Here's a few simple rules to help us preserve, promote, and protect the meaning and value of the mark for years to come. 1, don't use Realtor as a synonym for real estate agent. Realtor only means member of the National Association of Realtors. That's something special that differentiates you and the services you provide. 2, because Realtor identifies you as a member of NAR, you should use the mark with your name or the name of your firm. For example, Sally Rodriguez or Sunshine Realty. Remember to use all uppercase letters and the registration symbol to convey the special meaning of the mark. 3, don't use Realtor with descriptive wording or as a job title. Using the mark like this implies it refers to anyone in real estate, regardless of NAR membership. For example, your hometown Realtor is incorrect, even if you are a member of NAR. Remember, Realtor means member, so it doesn't make sense to say your hometown member. No matter where the term Realtor is used, whether on a brochure or a website or in a social post or an ad, using it correctly preserves, promotes, and protects the value for all members. With a little help from Realtors everywhere, all NAR members can continue to count on the meaning of the mark to help distinguish themselves and convey credibility and their commitment to serving clients and the community for years to come.
Awesome. Well, that's just a quick.
As you know,
that is just a quick video on how you guys can utilize the Realtor logo, the wording on it as well too. You'll see a link below on my screen. Jot that down real quick if you have some questions in regards to how to utilize it properly. I think that video did a great job in terms of at least summing up what you guys can and can't do with the word. If you guys do have any or you have additional questions in regards to this, a great resource center is going to be your office manager or broker. They should be well equipped in terms of knowledge on how to utilize the trademark. All right, but utilize it to your advantage. You guys are going to be able to benefit from using the trademark Realtor. All right. Okay, we got some benefits here at the West San Gabriel Valley Association Realtors. Hold on one second. I think my screen jumped real quick. My apologies. Okay, Angie, do you see what are we back on regular track here?
Yes, go back one. There you go.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I got a new computer setup system, so things are a little bit funky over here today. We got some benefits, as I was mentioning. West San Gabriel Valley Realtors membership, you're going to get a couple of great things. As I mentioned, remember in the beginning, our website, great resource center for you all. We're going to touch on a couple of little areas for you as well too. But education is probably one of the most important things, especially if you're new and you're young in this business. You want to educate yourself so then you're well equipped when you get out there into the real world. I know it gets a little bit difficult sometimes because you just get thrown out there and you got to figure things out. That's what happened with me. So don't be afraid. Always lean on your office as well too in regards to being able to help you get out there. But we have some great educational classes that are going to help you and accelerate you to get to full capacity much quicker. Zip Form Plus training. So if you guys don't know what Zip Form Plus is, that's basically where we utilize all of the contracts on an everyday basis, your purchase agreement, your listing agreement, addendums, things that we need with disclosures for escrow. How do you utilize that platform? Register for the training so then you can get up to speed with that as quickly as possible. CRMLS, if you don't know what CRMLS is, that's that little area that we log into to get access to all the listings, or if you're inputting your listings, that's the system. You want to utilize the system to your fullest capabilities. There's a lot of shortcuts. There's a lot of tips and tricks within the system so you can help and work at a much quicker pace. Definitely log into one of those trainings. It is much quicker than trying to figure this out on your own. And then I know most of you guys are pretty new. We might have a couple of people that have come back into the real estate industry, but as you guys all know, your license is good for 4 years, and every 4 years we must do continuing education classes in order to keep our license. We offer that for free through CAR, so you can get 40 hours of license renewal. And then also we have commercial seminars. If you want to understand and learn about the residential purchase agreement, we have training on that as well too. Most of you guys are new, but in December, they actually launched and they actually redid the entire purchase agreement. So it looks completely different from what I've been used to the past 16 years. I mean, over the past 16 years, it's gotten longer. They've added some things to the contract, but for the most part, it's looked pretty much exactly the same. December, they came out with a whole new look of the purchase agreement. So it's a little foreign to me still, and I literally use this every day. But if you want to know what our education calendar looks like, hop onto that tab, education and commercial, hit the little tab, and then you'll see a drop-down menu that comes out. In order to get to all of this, like I said, just go to our website, wsgvar.com, and you will be able to have access to all of this information. All right, on top of that, CAR also offers some member benefits as well too. Realtor Secure Transaction Zip Form Edition. This is, as I mentioned, the digital forms that we use every day for our transactions. We have forms advisory. So especially for a lot of you guys that are new in this business, you don't know which forms you need to use. Form advisor is going to help you with that process. So it's going to ask you some questions. What type of transaction is this? These are the forms that you're going to need. So then it's going to help you stay in compliance. So then you're not always searching around with figuring out what forms that you need for each transaction. And then you also will all have a free profile page for CAR members. This will allow consumers to locate you for your listings. And then also, the cool thing about this is we are licensed in the state of California. So you can technically get paid doing any transactions up and down the state of California. Now, I probably would not advise you to go do a transaction in maybe, let's say, San Diego or San Francisco or Northern California or even Central California, because one of the time commitments that it would require, and then number two is every local geographic area probably has maybe some different laws with real estate. So they may have things that we're not aware of, which you could miss. And if you do the transaction and you miss it as an agent, you could be held liable. So a great way is finding local realtors in that area that you have a client that either needs to sell or buy. You have basically a resource center to find real estate agents out there through this listing directory. All right. And then you can also collect, if you didn't know, you just collect a referral fee. So you can say, like here, Mr. Jeff McIntosh. If you're looking in Long Beach and you have somebody that needs to sell in Long Beach, I'd be like, Jeff, I have a client that wants to list their house. Can you list it for them? He's going to say, sure, I can. And you can collect a referral fee. Say, hey, give me 25% or give me 30% of the total commission that you're going to receive. And all you had to do was just refer that person over. And when the transaction closes, you get that check. All right. Okay, and then if you're looking for anything else, visit CAR/members to get access to some of these great resources. On the right-hand side over here, there's going to be a couple other things. There's Legal Hotline, which is a great resource center for you all as well too. So if you're ever stuck in a little bit of a pickle, I would probably say, and you have some questions that you might need an attorney to advise on, please reach out to CAR Legal Hotline. They have attorneys for all of us where you can dial in, you can ask the question that you have, and then they will get you a response as well too. And then transactions, zip form additions, that's what I had mentioned earlier in regards to getting access to all of the transactions or the contracts that we use. All right. National Association of Realtors also has a couple of benefits for you all as well too. As you guys all know, we're all 1099 independent contractors, which means we are self-employed, unlike going to like maybe some of the big corporations or jobs where they maybe provide benefits and so forth. We have to cover ourselves. So if you don't have health insurance or anything like that and you need it, you can adopt into the NAR group plan. So there's resources like Realtors Insurance Place, which helps you get insurance. But then because we are also part of such a large association, we're one of the largest associations in the entire United States. We're actually I want to say we are the largest trade organization. We're able to get benefits because of that, because we are so large. So if you need to do any mailing services, shipping out documents and stuff like that, you can register with FedEx and you can get a discount. If you want to get additional errors and emissions insurance to protect yourself, your office should have an insurance policy, but there is an additional insurance policy that you can also get for yourself. If you want that, you can check Victor. And then also we have some technology benefits for you guys as well too. We all need computers, right? Because that's pretty much how our world is run today. Dell, Lenovo, great computer companies that you can get some discounts with. And then also cell phone, that's pretty much our lives these days as well too. You can also get discounts with places like T-Mobile. So definitely check out on NAR's website the benefits that you guys have access to, because I don't know who doesn't like to save money. So utilize it to your benefit. All right. All right, member networking. This is kind of what we're all about. Every Thursday, we do have what we call a breakfast meeting caravan. This is a good place where you can get to know your peers. The MLS breakfast meeting is a networking opportunity for its members and affiliates. So it's not only just like realtors such as yourselves, but also in this business, if you haven't figured it out yet, there's more than just you as a real estate agent or a realtor. There's many other people that are part of the transaction. Escrow, lender, home insurance, home inspectors, title insurance, all of this comes into play with a real estate transaction. That is one of the great things that our association is able to do, is bring all these affiliates to also help you with every piece of the transaction as well too. So if you don't know any, attend the Thursday breakfast meetings, because you'll be able to get introduced to many of these affiliates. We also do have a caravan as well too, where we kind of do things a little bit different from other associations, which I love. Remember, it's all about education. It's all about educating yourself so you're better equipped when you go out there with the public or with the consumers, your clients, whatever you want to call it. This is going to help you, like I say, fast track to becoming an expert in this field. But every Thursday, 9 a.m., we have a topic of discussion. We usually will have a speaker that will come in and speak on a very specific topic about real estate. You got to be a huge lifelong learner in this business, because this business continually changes. What we're going through right now in today's marketplace is not the same 5 years ago. It's not the same as 10 years ago. The world is constantly always evolving. So we always have to learn and also adapt to this, because if we get left behind, guess what? Other people are going to be learning about new ways, new strategies to get better at this business and to adapt to the changes in our world. On top of that, remember we in our mission statement, we talk about being aware of other cultures, right? So we also have many cultural events to do that. The Lunar New Year is an event that we do. You'll see a picture at the top right. Cinco de Mayo, we do an event for that as well too. And then it's July 4th celebration, Veterans Day celebration. We got many celebrations that we have where we bring everybody together. We're like just a really big family, right? Like if you do family gatherings every so often, everybody comes together, have some food, enjoy each other's company. That's the same thing that we do here at our association as well too. We also will have a member appreciation week, which is typically like towards the middle of the year. So look out for those emails or those texts to get updated on member appreciation week. Sometimes we even give out free stuff. So pay close attention to when those things come around. All right. Member services, we also have a store. You'll see it kind of faded in the background over there, but we have things such as like office sign writers, flags, flyer holders, shoe covers, real estate books, gifts, pins, etc. The color black and if you need to do printing like black and white, there's 6 cents per page and 30 cents for color copies if you want to do 100 or more copies. Some of your guys' offices may charge you if you go to like a Kinko's or a FedEx or something like that and do printing. It's probably going to be higher than the prices that you see here. And it's probably definitely much cheaper than trying to print on your own home printer. All you got to do is just email your flyer, what you want printed to membership@wsgvar.com with your membership number, what your flyer, how much you want, and then also when you plan to pick it up. And then we'll make sure that the printing is available. Just key thing to note, just make sure you guys give us ample time. Don't email it over and say, I need this in 5 minutes. I'm on my way to the association. So give us at least, Angie, what's a good time maybe for everybody? Half a day, a day?
For their flyers, no, we can do it really relatively quick, maybe 2 hours.
2 hours. 2
Yeah.
hours is going to be the rule of thumb. Awesome. That's better turnaround time than my printing guy. All right. All right. Next thing that I'm going to cover is Supra. If you guys don't know what this is going to be something that you should be using every day. Your Supra e-key is basically the thing that gets programmed to your cell phone. This is going to be that blue box that you see on like a front door or something like that. This will allow you to get into a property if it's like vacant or the seller's out of the way or the agent doesn't need to show it. I say this is probably the one of the most best and convenient things because we want to streamline our business as much as possible. So if you're planning to be an amazing listing agent and you got like 20 listings, you won't be able to go show every property every single time somebody makes a request. Make your life easier. Let the seller know we have Supra e-keys. If they're worried about privacy or protection, there's even codes that you can put on these boxes. So then you have to give an additional code before they can enter and open up the key box. But it allows real estate agents to officially market and show listed homes. You can call the association to purchase one of these for your listings. And then after you purchase, you just, you'll be able to watch a video so you know exactly how to use it. The staff will also teach you how to utilize the key boxes. But like I said, it is one of the most effective tools if you're a real estate agent in today's world. And going back to like the security and the privacy, anybody that logs into one of those Supra boxes, you will know who came in, what time they came in, what time they opened it, and then what time they even put it back in. So if anything happens during that time period, we have a track record of it. Plus, this is a great way to show your client how many showings did you have this week. You can even utilize this as a tool If let's say a seller has listed their property too high and you've gotten 100 showings but no offers, what does that tell the seller or tell us? Either the property is not in the right shape and form to be shown, or number two, property is probably listed too high. We need to do something about changing the price. All right. Next, what do we have?
In this quick
Oh,
video,
the video.
you'll learn how to use your e-key to obtain the key and open the Supra keybox shackle. Let's get to it straight away. Let's learn how to perform these two functions. It's showing time, and you need the house key to access the listing. Here's how to use your e-key to obtain the key. Enter your PIN code. Activate Bluetooth by pressing up on the bottom of the key box. When you see success, push up on the key container to release it and obtain the house key. Next, you have a listing. Let's release the shackle and assign the key box to a listing. Select Open Shackle. Enter the shackle code for the key box. Select the reason you are releasing the shackle. Tap Done. Tap Save. Tap Begin. Activate Bluetooth by pressing up on the bottom of the key box. When you see Compress the shackle to the key box in the app, press down on the shackle to release it and place the key box on the listing. Important: if you're adding a new listing, enter the house number or MLS number to assign the key box to the listing. This ensured that your showing reports and notifications are more detailed.
Awesome. So if you don't have your Super E key yet, make sure you head down to the association, get that, because you'll be utilizing it every day. All right. Going back to that CR Legal Hotline, everybody grab your phones out again, because this is something that is truly, truly, truly valuable, just for your CAR dues that you pay. I don't know if anybody has ever talked to an attorney or has had to use the services of an attorney. Hopefully you haven't, but I have, and I'll tell you this, they are not cheap. So the few $100s that we spend just for our membership dues is well worth it just with this CR Legal Hotline. The reason why I say get your phones out is put that phone number into your phone book, save it as CAR Legal Hotline, 213-739-8282. They are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is free one-on-one legal advice with CR attorneys regarding the real estate practice. So let's say you're going through a transaction, situation happens, you need legal advice. You don't want to go talk to an attorney and pay the $350 to $600 an hour rate, because attorneys will bill you by the minute. Here is your free resource center. There's also an app for it. If you just go into the Apple, Google Play Store, go to CR Legal Hotline app, you will connect to the members through the CR Legal and give them a quicker, more user-friendly experience while you're in the field. Because sometimes you will, if you do call, you will have to wait and get screened. So it does take a little bit of time. But download the CR Legal Hotline app so then you could utilize this free service. Now, one thing I want you guys to know, because of conflict of interest, let's say you are working on a transaction with another agent. So I mean, you could call this legal hotline if you have a situation that arises with maybe your seller or with the buyer, right? You could also have a situation, maybe if it's you're working on a transaction with another agent, there's a buyer and seller involved, there's a listing agent and a selling agent involved, and there's a situation that has happened. Just one piece of advice I'm going to let you guys know, because of conflict of interest, let's say you are working with another agent, if you or the other agent calls into CR Legal Hotline about that specific situation, whoever calls first, the second person, because of conflict of interest, CR Legal will not be able to give them advice. So it is good to call quick, and it's good to call fast, because if you are not first, There's 2 agents involved. Both of you guys call Legal Hotline. First one is the one that gets the response from CAR. They won't leave you hanging though, so just know if somebody else has already called for the transaction, they will refer typically like 2 or 3 other attorneys for you that are in partnership with CAR, where they'll be able to give you advice as well too. It will be, though, I'll tell you, it will be a little bit harder to get legal advice from those from those references. All right. All right, affiliate members. As I had mentioned to you, coming to the Thursday breakfast meetings, you're going to meet a lot of affiliates. There's a lot of people involved in every real estate transactions, if you haven't found that out yet. But you will find out that there are a lot of other people that get tied into a real estate transaction. You want to start to build your team if you have not, and we have access to that for you. Affiliates can consist of any of the following and more that you see here. So attorneys, lenders, title officers, escrow officers, health and wellness, insurance, home warranty, home inspection, plumbers, and natural hazard disclosures, which I call it NHD for short, environmental services, and much, much more. How do you get access to these people if you don't know them yet and you haven't come to the Thursday breakfast meeting? Well, we have a way for you to connect with our affiliates. Download the WSGVR Connect app in the Apple Store or Google Play, and then you can start to search for the affiliates based off of what category you need. So like I mentioned, a lot of people in a real estate transaction start to build out your team. You want to work with trusted people. We have a list of those trusted people for you. All right. Other things that we have. So our association, as I had mentioned, we had those all-stars of people with their beautiful pictures. Our board of directors is who they are. They help run the association on a hierarchy level. They're pretty much, like I said, the cream of the crop. They're all the way up at the top. They also focus and watch what we have as what we call committees, who operate each individual portion of our association. If any of these topics kind of interest you, especially if you are new at the association or new at this business, this is, remember, being a lifelong learner, this is a great way to understand our business is by serving on some of these committees. So I highly, highly, highly suggest look into these committees. If any of these things kind of pique your interest, call the association, say, hey, I was at orientation today and they talked about these committees. I want to know more about this because I want to get educated. This was the best way for me when I started out in my career on how to really understand the real estate industry. What are the rules? What are the regulations? Because what we're trying to do is provide value to the consumers, right? And that's really by knowing what is going on with our association or how our industry is ran. It is not as simple as let's just go show some homes or let's just sell some houses. There's a lot more to this business if you really want to be good at it. You're looking at you're looking at some great ways to really get good at it. So these standing committees and special committees really operate and build to our industry and our association as well too. Standing committee is going to be education. So if you're interested about educational topics, bringing speakers in, learning about different parts of our industry, education committee is a great place to be. Finance isn't going to be something that you can jump into right away. There are some prerequisites to this. Finance is basically how we handle all of the money at our association. So if you guys notice, you guys have paid dues at the beginning of the year. When you signed up at the association, they asked for money. Where does that money go? What do we do with it? Well, the finance committee is the one that decides that. But like I said, you can't just jump right into that committee. There are a couple prerequisites. Grievance is if we're going to ever have any situations between either members or consumers, there's going to be a panel. That one isn't going to be too easy to jump in. There's going to be some prerequisites to that as well too. But they're the ones that listen to a lot of the issues that are happening either with two parties, and they'll help come up with a decision. Legislative is probably one of the most important committees that we have as an association, both on a local and state and also national. Legislative is we cover 5 different cities, San Gabriel, Rosemead, Temple City, Monterey Park, and Alhambra are our main 5 cities. Now, we want to build really good relationships with these 5 cities. And when I talk about building relationships, I'm talking about the legislators, the politicians, the mayors, the city councilmen, the planning commission. We want to know what they are doing in each one of these cities, as well as the state, as well as nationally, because as you guys know, the legislators are always coming up with new bills. There's things that can affect the real estate industry. Remember, part of our mission statement was to adhere to private property rights. So they could be changing things that could affect our industry. We want to make sure they don't affect our industry, because if it impacts us, either we're going to have less transactions, it's going to be difficult for people to either buy or sell real estate, which then in turns will affect our industry as a whole, right? So we do want to build relationships with our legislators, especially with the 5 cities that we have here. So if you like that type of arena, please reach out to the association, talk to how you can get onto this legislative committee, because there's a lot of good information that comes out of that committee. And remember, like I said, if you want to provide value to your customers, your clients, to your pool of people, what better way than learning about some new things that cities are doing to give value to your clients? I think that's one of the best committees to be on. Membership in special events. If you like to plan parties or plan events and stuff like that, you like to socialize, I think that's a really great committee to be on. Multiple listing and technology. They cover actually the multiple listing. They're part of all the changes that happens with the MLS. But on top of that, they also bring in on our Thursday breakfast meetings the education topics. They're the guest speakers as well too. And then they also cover any technology that we need within our association to make it better and operate better. Professional standards is going to be another committee where there's going to be some prerequisites as well too. They are going to handle any disputes, let's say with code of ethics or anything like that. Strategic planning is going to be comprised mainly of our board of directors, but they are the ones that are going to be working on our future growth of the association. So if you guys yourself have not looked at your business, where do you want to be at in 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year? Start thinking about that. We do the same thing with our association. Where do we see ourselves growing? Where do we see ourselves in the future? What do we want to build towards? That's what strategic planning is going to comprise of. We got a couple of special committees like our affiliates. That's just comprised of our affiliates. So those attorneys, lenders, title, escrow, all those people, they help to see how they can provide better benefits to our members. And then we also have bylaws and rules and regulations. These are things that shape and change how we operate as a organization. Global Business Council. So if you, real estate is not just local, we're international, especially with today's world. But Global Business Council, you are looking at our association is one of the best global business councils in the entire National Association of Realtors. There's maybe only like a few handful of associations that are in our caliber in regards to how well we operate this business council. We do trade mission to other associations as well too. So we have people that travel. With COVID, it's been a little bit difficult, but pre-COVID, what we did is we had trade missions to other countries like the Philippines, I think Taiwan, Malaysia, and so forth. So we look and see how do other countries operate and how do other countries actually conduct business. Plus, remember, we're in a very good pocket where we have a lot of international people coming over to make purchases because the real estate market over here is really good. You have a lot of overseas investors. So remember, this business is all about who you know. And what better way is, hey, if you know somebody overseas that can bring and feed business over to you, everybody can make some money. All right. But if you like and you want to learn about, either about cultural backgrounds, because they have events like on a monthly basis, they go even try different type of foods and cuisines and so forth. This is a great committee to be on. Orientation, that's what this committee is. We provide a lot of these presentations to the new members. Premises is just going to cover our facilities that we operate out of and own. We have a sergeant of arms, which pretty much keeps our meetings in check and in order, so then it doesn't get too chaotic, which it doesn't. And then we also have the Young Professional Network. This is a great group of younger individuals, not by age, but also by career. They offer a lot of networking opportunities. They also do a lot of fundraising, and they also do a lot of community service as well too. So it's a great community, great committee to belong to if you want to get to know more real estate agents. Because remember, it's all, like I said, it's all about who you know, because I've been doing this for 16 years. And when I know another agent that I'm working with on the other side, it's much easier. The transaction is much more pleasurable as opposed to not knowing who the other person is. So the more people you know, the better it will be in this industry for you. Professional development, designations. So going back to that whole lifelong learning and being really educated in today's world, NAR offers many designations. These are specific designations, and it's really good to get to know specific niches in this industry. This is just a list of some of the designations that you can get from the National Association of Realtors. They do require course training. Some of them require hours, and some of them are multiple classes. Some are one day. You do have to take a test. You do have to pass so you can get certified. But here's a good list. If you guys want even more, contact the association. Look at car.org. Our website has some designations as well too, and also the National Association of Realtors, so you can see when these classes are coming. Some of them will require you to be at a physical location, so they get offered at some of the different associations. But these are really good things, so then you can add those to your titles that you've obtained over the years. All right. Quite a few, as you can see. Short sales and foreclosures, we don't have too many of those, but once in the market tips, I'm sure that's gonna help. Real estate negotiation expert, that's a great title to have. Certified real estate team specialist. Teams are becoming a really big model in today's business. So resort and second home property specialist, that could tie back to that international market that I was talking about. So look at some of the different designations that are out there. Anything that piques your interest, dive in a little bit deeper to figure out what this is, what it's all about, so you can get educated and learn. Commercial services. So if any of you guys are thinking about doing commercial real estate, we have over 85 commercial members. They meet monthly on seminars pertaining to current and relevant topics about the commercial real estate industry. Markets and the rights of the property owners. Commercial seminars are free to members and non-members. Monthly training on commercial tools such as the MLS. Realtor Property Resource is a tool that you guys all have, so they provide training on that. And then there's also annual training on the residential development and land use series. That is a designation that you can get. And then commercial marketplace, it's, like I said, another free place to network with other commercial realtors. It's a place that you can pitch properties that you have or that you need. Commercial is a little bit different of an animal, I like to say. So a lot of the things there are not done on market like most real estate transactions. And that's where it goes back to knowing the right people to find what you need, especially in the commercial in the commercial world. If you have more questions about this, there's some contact information in regards to how to get in contact with the right people so you can get added onto this list and attend those events. All right. CAR and NAR annual events. So these are some great places that both our state association and national association provides where you can learn. They also have some expos. This is a great event to go to if you can. This is where you will see how powerful the California Association of Realtors is. We comprise of 100 local associations in 32 regions in California. We belong to region 16, and we hold 3 business meetings every year, winter, spring, and fall. Customer service number, if you're looking for CAR, 213-739-8227. And if you need more information, you could just visit the website car.org. So just to kind of do a quick recap and breakdown of this, we are one of 100 local associations. So there's 99 other local associations just like us. Some of them aren't as big, some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger as well too. But that just shows you how big our organization is. And remember, this is just only the state of California. I'll dive into, I believe, some of the meetings in a second. Actually, no. Let me step back real quick. If you guys want to see how powerful our association is, I know the spring meeting is coming up. Angie, is it still possible to sign up for it? Is it too late? Or is it because it's going to be virtual?
You can still register for the spring meeting. We had our virtual legislative day a couple weeks ago, but the in-person is in April.
In April, perfect. So our legislative meeting that she was talking about is this great event. It's been virtual because of COVID over the last few years, but when we go back into this full swing, this is something that it blew my mind in terms of how strong our organization is, how much power. Remember how I talked about having good relations with our legislators? We have one day every year where we go up to that Capitol building as an organization, and typically it's anywhere between like 3,000 to 5,000 strong throughout the state of California. And we go talk to our legislators about key important issues that are going to affect our business, whether they're bills that are being proposed, whether we want to propose a bill, things that are going to have an impact in our business. We go up there, we fight for what we feel is right for our industry. And it's one of the most powerful things that you'll ever be able to experience in this industry. So I would probably say, get yourself onto that list so you can get up there, so you can experience this. But then also in fall, we're going to have like our year-end expo as well too. So if you guys have any questions in regards to any of these 3 business meetings that happen throughout the year, just visit car.org and look up business meetings. And then you'll be able to get the timetables to those. And if you want more questions in regards to how to really attend these, please contact our staff or our association, and they'll give you more information about it. NAR does the same thing, but instead of 3 meetings, they only do 2. There are 54 state associations in 13 regions in the United States. We are part of Region 13. Their legislative meetings are going to be right around the time of some of the California Association. They won't overlap because a lot of our important figures over at CAR have to fly over to NAR. But this year, May 1st to 6th, at National Harbor in Maryland, there's going to be a legislative meeting. So just like how we go up to the Capitol, state Capitol, we also go to a meeting where we cover in Washington, D.C. sometimes, where they go to the U.S. Capitol building. But then we also for NAR, there's a big expo conference, and typically, expo for NAR is about, I think, like 20,000. For CAR, I think roughly it gets about 10,000 people. NAR gets, I think, up to like 20,000. There's only so many places that can handle that many attendees. Orlando is always going to be one of those places. That one's going to be in November, so the 9th to the 14th. Being a 1099 independent contractor, you are your own business. So guess what? Flying to these locations, staying at a hotel, the food that you eat, those are all what we call business expenses. Talk to your accountant in terms of how to utilize those benefits. But you can go learn, look at classes. There's also what we call big expo halls where there's a lot of vendors there. So if you're looking for printing materials, if you're looking for promotional things, you're looking to get like a website, they offer great discount rates during those expo periods. And you can utilize, or you can see what other tools and technology is being offered into the real estate industry. But it's another great place where you can get learning completed. All right. Now, the Realtor Action Fund, this is going to be something that we're going to discuss in terms of what the importance is of this. What is a Realtor Action Fund? Well, it stands for RAF, right, for short, and it's a vital service for you and your business. So we are voluntarily contributing to our Realtor Action Fund. You're helping to protect private property rights. And this happens through CAR lobbying efforts, local issues, and candidate campaigns. So contributing to the Realtor Action Fund has stopped a few things. Remember, it's all about, or let me take one step back. I mentioned earlier, it's not all about just helping people list and sell their homes or getting people into buying houses. Our industry is actually much, much bigger than this. And this is one of those avenues, right? Because anything that happens at the legislative level, at the local, at the state, at the national, could have huge impacts in our business. And this is where I want you guys to be really mindful and really pay attention to this part as to the importance to it, because these things, by contributing to these funds, it has stopped certain things, which has really benefited everybody in the real estate industry. And if we don't continue to contribute to these funds, we wouldn't have enough manpower to have people look at some of these things, and they could have gotten passed, which, remember, could affect our business. Point of sale mandates can cost homeowners thousands of dollars, reducing their equity, or may even have prevented the sale from going through. We don't have too many point of sale mandates, but we've done a couple of great things with the city of Monterey Park and also Temple City. Monterey Park used to have what we call point of sale mandate. What is a point of sale mandate? Well, anytime a transaction sells in the city requires an inspector from the city to go out to the property to make sure everything is okay. When I started in this business, Monterey Park had a point of sale mandate. And it was one of the most frustrating things that we had to do. So every single time a sale happened in the city of Monterey Park, guess what? You had to call the city, you had to go down to the city, pay for this fee, get a city inspector to come out, and they come and kind of take a look at the property. If there was things that were wrong with the house, they would say, okay, you need to fix this, 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 and this. And to be honest with you, it was something as simple. Every single time they asked for this little hose bib to be on like one of those outside hoses. It was like this 15, like maybe it was probably like a couple dollar contraption, but it would get called out every single time. And that was literally the only thing that got called out, unless every once in a blue moon, what would happen was there would be like unpermitted additions, right, to the property, which those were very important things. But these little things that had to be fixed, you would of course had to get a handyman to come in here and come do it, which then wasted time. And then also it cost the owner money to do something very, very minute. We defeated Monterey Park. We were able to lobby and go to the council members and say, hey, look, there's really no purpose for this. And plus, you know what, on the city level, they were actually losing money each year by having an inspector go out to all of these properties to do this little inspection, because the fee was maybe like $150 or $200. Temple City was in the process of actually implementing a point of sale mandate, and we built really good relationships with the city council members. And we were able to talk to them and talk about all the pros and cons of having a point of sale mandate. And they ultimately decided not to have a point of sale mandate, which is going to help our business at the end of the day. Just for you guys' knowledge, if you guys ever do a transaction in the city of Pasadena, El Monte, Azusa, they require point of sale mandates. And if you haven't been through one of these and you have issues that come about from it, it will delay your closing. It will require people to put a lot more money into the transaction, which they may not have. And then it could just basically cause extra hurdles in order to get the transaction closed. So something like that has been very vital. Direct taxing of realtor commissions and services related to the transaction. This was about maybe a handful of years ago where this was proposed on the state level. So as I had mentioned earlier, the real estate transaction doesn't just comprise of just us as realtors and our clients. You have escrow officers, title officers, you have home inspection companies, home warranty companies, you have all of these different services that happen. Well, if you guys haven't been through a real estate transaction yet, you know, we have a transaction, we have escrow charges a fee. We as realtors charge a commission, there's a fee. There's home inspection companies, they charge a fee to come and inspect it. Remember, all of these are just fees. What they were actually proposing throughout the state was for all of these fees, there is going to be a tax on it. So meaning, remember, in order to create revenue for the state, what do you do? What can you do to create revenue? You have taxes, right? So imagine if consumers now had to pay a tax on every services related to the transaction. Your lender fee is going to have a tax on top of it. Your commissions are going to have a fee, a tax on top of it. Your escrow, your home warranty, all of that is going to add up. What does that do? Tax is only just going to make things more expensive. If it makes it more expensive, what happens? Less people are probably going to want to sell their property, or less people are going to be able to afford to buy a property, right? With home prices being as expensive as they are right now, imagine if you have fees of $20,000 on a transaction, now you add another 10% on top of it, that's an extra $2,000. Is that going to prohibit somebody from wanting to buy or sell real estate? You definitely do. We have people that are just cringing over the commissions that we charge. Imagine you add something like that on top. So that was very instrumental in keeping our industry moving forward and not pulling us back. So that's why this Realtor Action Fund, very critical, because if we don't have the manpower to do something like this, guess what? Things like this get passed and we'll be the ones on the short end of the stick, which we don't want to be. Plus, on top of that, we always consider ourselves what we call the realtor party. I know there are two big parties out there. We have the Democrats and the Republicans. They're always fighting. We consider ourselves a realtor party. Regardless of whatever your affiliation is, we are always about housing issues, our industry. How do we make it better? And guess what? We want people to promote what we want to promote as well too. So we're looking for political candidates who are against building housing and against realtor issues, right? So place people that are like anti-building, because look, we're in this huge housing shortage right now. A lot of it has to do with the red tape in our industry or with the cities in order for developers to build. Fees are getting too high, cost of materials are getting too high, profit margins are not there for builders. So it's pulled people from building, especially in the state of California. And that's why we have such a huge housing supply shortage, because it's not profitable for some of these businesses to keep going. But we want political candidates that are going to be pro-building, right? Because that's going to help and bring more supply to our industry. That's going to have more transactions for us. I'm looking at the marketplace right now. I think it's going to be very difficult for real estate agents to do business in this near future. And the reason why is because we have less transactions to go around. And guess what? We have more agents in this industry now than ever. right? Because it is very it can be very lucrative right now. So we want political candidates that are going to support our issues and help us and help our industry. There's no point in finding somebody that's going to be completely against us, because that's not going to help what we want to get, right? So this action fund is very, very critical to our business. We do have a little video about this. Hopefully they explained it a little bit better than I. But my key takeaway for all of you guys is whatever you guys can contribute to this, even if it's $20, it will go a long way for your business. All right.
Today, somewhere in America, a young family will set out to buy a home. A growing family will decide it's time for more space. Somewhere, an entrepreneur will be ready to bring her big idea to the world. And one of the first things all of these people will do is call you. Every day, Realtors help families get a step closer to their dreams. But Realtors need a strong team looking out for them. And that's where Realtor Action Fund comes in. We're your voice. We work to promote and protect the real estate industry. And we support candidates who share your values. In state capitals across the nation, Realtors are working with elected officials to ensure that qualified families can realize the American dream of home ownership. We're even taking on Washington. Both parties support tax reform. That means items like the mortgage interest deduction are under increased scrutiny, and we must fight to protect them. But we can't do any of this without you. Learn more about how you can get involved and contribute to Realtor Action Fund. With your help, we can fight for the priorities that matter to all of us.
All right. If anybody has any questions in regards to this, please throw them in the chat box for me. And then Angie, if you can monitor that and then just shout them out.
Today, somewhere in America.
Let me get to the next part. All right. So if you're interested in contributing, please make a $20. Like I said, even $20 can make a difference. Visit wsgvr.com, click on contribute now under the advocacy and legal tab, or contact our offices, or just throw it into the chat box right now. Say, hey, I am interested. I want to contribute. And then Angie, our staff, will be able to get in contact with you for that. All right. Realtor safety. This is something that is very important in our industry. We work in a very, very crazy industry or world. Safety should be all of your guys' utmost concern, because we often think, or we often react or do things without thinking sometimes. And to be very honest with you, we're in an industry where, you know, we talk to strangers all the time. And this is actually a very dangerous industry when you really think about it, especially for you females out there. If you guys are doing open houses, do not do it by yourself. Make sure you have somebody with you. Because remember, what other business or industry just lets random strangers come in, right? You don't know who's out there. You don't know who's watching. There are predators out there. So I just want you guys all to be very cognizant of this, whether you're female or male. Because how many times, let's say if you get a listing, you have a for sale sign outside, somebody calls on it, you have no idea who that person is, and they say, hey, I want to come see this house. And you're like, sure, I'll hop over there right now. Let's meet in 30 minutes. You have no idea who this person is, except for they called you on this house. You don't know if they're interested in actually purchasing it. You don't know if they're qualified to even purchase this house. They could be a predator, and that's what I want you guys to always be weary of. Especially if you're female, male, regardless who you are, if you're going to a property unattended by yourself, make sure you let somebody know, hey, I'm going to this property. I'm going to meet this person at this time. This was their phone number, just so you guys are safe, right? If you don't hear back from me in an hour, please give me a call just to make sure, unless you're going there with somebody else, all right? But NAR has a wealth of resources to help agents, brokers, and associations better understand and educate each other about the safety risks that we face every day. From planning your safety strategy to extensive safety resources, including apps, products, and educators. NAR has many useful items for all real estate professionals, including regularly scheduled safety webinars, numerous articles organized by category, video, and safety alert program. And then also NAR further offers the Safety Matters Safe Business Equals Smart Business course free of charge. So then you guys can get better educated on this as well too. But let me fire this video on in terms of some of the safety tips for you all.
As a real estate professional, you are in a unique position that most working professionals never face. In your business, you often share your contact information openly with others, meet unknown clients, and walk through vacant properties, to name a few. It's because of the unique nature of this business that it's critical for all real estate professionals to have personal safety protocols in place that you follow every day with every.
Sorry. Let me play that right back.
And share your contact information openly with others, meet unknown clients, and walk through vacant properties, to name a few. It's because of the unique nature of this business that it's critical for all real estate professionals to have personal safety protocols in place that you follow every day with every client, every time. So what kind of safety protocols should you implement into your daily routine? Here are a few to consider. When meeting a client for the first time, do not meet a new client at a property right away without first having an initial meeting at your office or a public space, like a coffee shop. During the initial meeting, make copies or take photos of the client's driver's license and pre-approval letter for your records. This precaution allows you to keep a record at the office of who your clients are, their information, and a calendar of appointments. When first meeting with a new client, you should discuss the types of real estate they're interested in and walk them through the safety protocols you have in place for all clients. Now you can arrange showings, meet them at properties, and schedule open houses to help them through the biggest financial decision of their life. When viewing a property, it's okay to ask your client to drive separately. This is a safety precaution for you as much as it is for them. Not to mention, you might both have appointments to go to before or afterward.
Hey, this is cute.
As you tour a property, walk behind your client. This routine safety measure allows them to see the room first and make their own impressions. Many agents do not go into attics, garages, or basements as an additional safety measure, but encourage your client to look around and let you know what they think. It is a safe practice to only show vacant properties which might not have electricity during daylight hours. This allows you to see what safety hazards may exist, like a loose floorboard or any defects the house may have.
It's got potential.
When holding an open house, advise your clients to board their pets and remove jewelry, family photos, credit card receipts, artwork, prescription drugs, and any other valued possessions from the home in advance of the open house. This is just one way to look out for your client and to keep their property and belongings secure. Keep a record of who entered the house by asking everyone who walks in the door to sign in with their name and phone number or show a photo ID. There is something to be said about safety in numbers. Consider bringing along a colleague when holding an open house. If there are several potential buyers walking through the home, even better to have 2 agents on hand to answer questions and keep an eye on things. Safety is an important part of real estate. Be prepared and follow the protocols and processes that have been put in place to keep you and your clients safe. For more information and additional resources, visit www.nar.realtor/safety.
Awesome. Hopefully you guys got some good tips. I do see there's a question in the chat box from Lucy. Doing an open house, are we allowed to have a friend by our side that isn't a licensed realtor? Yes, you can have non-licensed realtors at your open house, but just be very, very careful with what they are actually doing. They can hand out flyers. They can just kind of instruct people where to go if you're letting only a few people in at a time. But anything real estate related, they can talk about actual facts. So, hey, this is listed for X price. This is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and so many square footage. But that's pretty much all that they can do. They cannot try to negotiate. They can't say, hey, benefits and features and stuff like that. In anything in terms of like selling. So if they want to just hand a flyer out and just say, hey, this is bedroom, bathroom price, that is okay. Another tip that was in this video was have another colleague go with you, especially somebody licensed, then you guys can freely do what we are licensed to do. Another tip could be, a lot of lenders want to get business. And who comes to open houses? Buyers, right? So that could be another person to think about as well too. But if you do have non-licensed people at your open house, it is okay. Talk to maybe your office manager or your broker, so then you are in compliance and then you don't get into trouble, so they're not doing the wrong things. All right. Code of ethics. We're going to touch on this part, which is very important. What we're going to do is talk about 3 key areas of the code of ethics. One, it's the duties to our clients and our customers, the duties to the public, and then the duties to each other in terms of realtors. All right. New standard of practice 10-5. So on November 13th, the NAR Board of Directors voted to make some significant changes to its professional standards policies. The changes went into effect immediately upon enactment of the board. Specifically, NAR voted to do the following. So add a new standard of practice 10-5 to the code of ethics, stating that the following: realtors must not use harassing speech, hate speech, epithets, or slurs based on race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, national origin, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Revise the professional standard policy statement to expand the applicability of the code of ethics to all of the realtors' activities, not just real estate related activities and transactions involving realtors. I want you guys all to be very mindful of what was just presented in front of you. In today's world where cell phones are very prevalent, people are recording other people. What you say and what you do could have a huge impact in your career. This is the only thing that I do. I'm a full-time professional real estate agent and realtor. This is the only thing that I know how to do. I've been doing this for 16 years. So how you conduct yourself, not only in business, but outside in public, could have a huge impact. So if any of these things kind of happens, guess what? You could get your membership revoked, which means you may not be able to do or work in this business. So be very careful of how you guys act. But like I said, if we conduct ourselves in a professional manner, we have no issues. We make the place a better place than it was the day before. All right. Here are some important articles, 1 through 9, which is the duties to our clients and our customers. Fiduciary duties and agencies, you put your clients first, not the commission that you're going to earn and how you're going to get that. You have to have your client's best interests first. You need to disclose issues, no exaggeration, misrepresentation, or concealment. What does that mean? Seller tells you, hey, Kevin, I got burglarized 2 months ago. Don't tell anybody I got burglarized. What do? You tell everybody what you know, because that is called concealment. You don't want any of this misrepresentation, because if that comes back at you, you could lose your license, you could lose your membership, you will not be able to work in this industry. That is very important, because look, neighbors know everything. So if you think you're going to be hiding it, better luck next time, because people talk amongst very small circles. Cooperation and compensation, realtors shall not misrepresent availability to show. There are some bad apples in this industry. If you do see them, please report them. What does that mean? If you say, please go direct, and you don't put a lockbox on there, and you're making it difficult for other real estate agents to show so you can bring in your own buyers from people calling on your listings, that is not a good thing. People will report you. You could end up losing your membership or your license. Self-dealing, disclose your license. So a lot of agents get into this business because they want to flip homes. If you are flipping homes, you want to disclose that you are licensed and you are going to do this for a profit. that's the same thing with number 5 over there and number 6 as well too. But anytime you are just purchasing your property just for yourself, you do want to let the consumer know you are purchasing this for yourself and you have a real estate license. The reason being is because we have a license, we are supposed to have more knowledge than the normal consumer. So you want to make that very clear so you guys don't get into trouble. And then prior to rendering any opinion of value or service, inform the seller of your interest to purchase it, and then self-dealing, no secret profit. So if you are planning on flipping a property, like I said, let them know this is what you're planning on doing, because there have been some cases where that was not disclosed. The seller ended up going back to the agent, fighting that, hey, I wasn't aware of this and you made a bunch of money off of me. Maybe you could have sold your house, sold my house for more. You actually sold it for less, so you can take the deal and you can make more money by reselling it. So make sure everything is disclosed properly. I don't want you guys to get into trouble. Dual compensation, disclosed to all, clients must consent. What is dual compensation? You represent a buyer and seller in a transaction. They must know about that. Trust account records. We don't deal with this too much, but when I first started in the business, the contract was defaulted. Whenever you wrote an offer, there's a thing called the EMD, earnest money deposit, initial deposit. We had physical checks. We didn't know who the escrow company was, so they made that check out to the real estate brokerage. If we got an accepted offer, we would endorse it on the back to the escrow company. We need to log in that fund into the trust account records. Most of the transactions are wire the initial deposit, so we're not touching anybody's money. But if we are touching anybody's funds, whether it's a check or anything like that, make sure you log that into your trust account records with your office, with your broker, with your manager. Make sure you know how that operates, okay? Because that could be a violation. And then clear written documentation, just give a copy of everything that your client signed to them. Very simple. Code of Ethics, Articles 10 through 14. This is in regards to the public. Fair housing, you must provide equal professional services to all. We cannot discriminate in the purchase agreement. After the agency disclosures, after the first 2 pages, there is a fair housing advisory on there. Read that very carefully, because there are secret shoppers out there. People have been getting cracked down on for fair housing practices. Professional competency, meet the standard of care for each specialization in which you provide. The easiest example that I can really kind of explain to you guys, if you guys are thinking about, and this goes back to my whole lifelong philosophy of learning, educating yourself, educate yourself before you go out there, because just because you have a real estate license, we're licensees, we're realtors, we're practicing actively. If we don't know what we're doing, we can be held accountable to our actions. The biggest thing is that I can kind of always relate. If you want to get into the commercial field, make sure you understand that business. Make sure you understand how that operates. Same thing with just even going out on listings and working with buyers. Make sure you are educated first before going out, because by having a license, taking people out, doing transactions, you are held accountable to your professional competency, all right? Truth in advertising, make sure you paint a true and accurate picture. So if it's a move-in ready, it better not be, you got to fix everything, right? Or the place is like falling apart. If it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, make sure it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's not really a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, right? Make sure you disclose if there are things that are unpermitted. Those will come back on you to make sure that those things are corrected. Unauthorized practice of law. Remember, we are not attorneys, and sometimes the way we draft offers or write things into contracts, we could be overstepping our boundaries in terms of what our capabilities are. Remember, I gave you a great resource, which is the Legal Hotline. Talk to the professionals that are licensed attorneys. Unless you are a licensed attorney, then it's okay. But make sure you just have the right professionals doing the right things, okay? And then do to cooperate with professional standards. We have a professional standards of how we operate. Just make sure you follow those. Very simple rules. Disparaging competitors. So articles 15 through 17 is going to be about our duties to each others as realtors. Don't make false or misleading statements. If you go on a listing presentation and you ask a question, did you interview any other agents? They're going to be like, yes. Who did you interview? And you're like, oh, that person. You don't want to make any like disparaging comments about your competition, right? Interference of agency client relationship with another realtor. So whenever you're talking to consumers, buyers, sellers, ask them if they're working with another realtor first. Make sure that they haven't had something signed, because that could be something that you could be infringing on their agency relationship, which you do not want to do, because you could get into very big trouble. Duty to arbitrate commission disputes. So if we ever do have any commission disputes, we have an arbitration clause in there to figure out how that would be handled. Other than that, I threw a lot of information at you. I hope you found this valuable. We are going to take a break before you get to the second half of this. Angie, do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Please fire them away at me.
No questions as of yet. However, during this point, I will allow participants to unmute themselves. So if you have a question for Kevin, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask it, or put it in the chat room before we start our break.
Any questions? Don't be shy, guys. Trust me. I've always felt the best way to learn, if something you're not worried or you're not 100% sure about, feel free, type it away. If you're shy, just type it in the chat box. I'm okay with that as well too. But I want to be a resource center for you guys, especially if you guys are starting new in this business.
Jonathan Vu, you've unmuted yourself. Do you have a question?
Hi, yeah, I actually had a question. So,
Yep.
let's say, you're talking to somebody and then they say, yeah, I have an agent that I'm working with, but I'm still looking. Are you intruding if you are helping, that client find a place, even if they say they are working with an agent?
Yeah, so what you would always want to ask is, if they are working with the agent, you can say, okay, cool, that's good to know. The second question you want to ask is, did you sign anything with that agent? If they have physically signed an agency contract with them, then you gotta just step off. You can't do anything unless they have canceled that agency relationship contract. To be very honest with you, very few agents in this business actually use contracts. Me personally, I will not work with the buyer without having them sign a contract with me. Reason being is because I've been burned too many times, and I don't want that to happen because it hurts every single time. Where we put a lot of time and effort into working with clients, thinking that they're working with us 100%. And then you get a phone call and they say, hey, Kevin, I just opened escrow on this property. This other agent found me, right? Remember, you got to be very mindful about your time that you utilize. And I'll be very honest with you. I think less than 5% of the real estate agents out there use agency contracts. It's a very hot topic in the industry. Some believe in it, some are completely against it. So questions are always asked. Yes, they're working with another agent. Second question is, did you sign anything? If they didn't sign anything, then it is technically fair game.
I see. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ronnie, thank you. You said I'm doing a great job. Appreciate it.
We do have a question in the chat, Kevin. I'll read
Yes.
it. Andrew asked, what if I change brokerages and my previous broker refuses to pay me the commission he owes me from previous transactions?
Yes.
Do I file a complaint through the real estate division?
Yes, so what you could do is file the complaint with the association. There is a grievance committee. Typically, what is going to happen is you probably even want maybe an attorney to look at the contracts that you signed with your brokerage. Most of them will have like independent contractor agreements, right, that you guys signed with the brokerage when you signed up. In there should be some type of arbitration clause for any commission disputes. So that will outline what needs to happen.
Kevin, I wanted to expand on the grievance committee, if I can, for just a
Yep.
minute. Andrew, they will go over this in the second part too, but the association does offer arbitration where you can file a complaint against your broker for monetary disputes, and it can be seen by the association, and a judgment can be given. So if you'd like to go that route, just give us a call at the association, 626-288-6212. My name is Angie, and I'll be the one helping you. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do we have any other questions? I think we are good, Angie.
Yes, I
Okay.
have a question.
Oh, go
Uh-oh,
ahead.
who's that?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I have a question. Is if the owner is in a foreclosure situation, and then what kind of the listing agreement I can approach the owner to sell the property, and then also if I have the other buyer want to buy the property, which what kind of the purchase agreement I can use for this situation?
So you're saying the seller is in foreclosure.
Yeah, behind the payment and then
Behind on the
whatever.
payments.
Yeah.
So there are always going to be a couple of things that you do want to be wary of. If you guys have not used the listing agreement form, I would say go back to your broker, talk about the listing agreement form. In there, there's going to be a section in terms of what it talks about putting a property into the MLS or not putting it into the MLS. This is called on-market and off-market deals. Whenever we're doing off-market deals, you have to be very careful to educate a consumer or a seller what the advantages and disadvantages are with not putting it onto the MLS. I always believe that you should put the property onto the MLS. You have to give the right to the seller to do that. Some sellers will not want to. There's a lot of companies out there, like Zillow did a lot of iBuyer programs where a lot of these companies are just coming in and buying the property. So if you're connecting two people together and not putting it onto the MLS, just be very careful, disclose to that seller, really, what are the advantages and disadvantages by doing this? Because remember, if you're representing both sides, your fiduciary duty is to your client. I personally think the state of California needs to get rid of dual agency, but I don't think that's going to ever happen. That's another discussion of topic. But remember, if you're going to try to get the seller the highest price, because that's your fiduciary duty, if you don't put it on the market and you have this buyer that's going to come in and buy it, are they giving them the highest price? That's one thing that we have to really distinct between. But the contract, since the property is not foreclosed yet, the contracts are going to be exactly the same. You can use your standard contracts. The thing that you probably have to look into is, okay, how much is the property worth? How much do they actually owe? And do they owe less than what the property is worth? If they do, you can actually just do a standard regular sale. You may want to just talk to the lender that is on file for that transaction or for that property to see how much penalties do they have. So then, because basically what you want to make sure is if the property is worth $1 million and they only have loans of 500,000, if you sell it for $1 million, even though they're back on their mortgage payments, what could happen is once you get the $1 million for the sale, 500 is going to pay back the current lender plus all of their back payment penalty fees. Let's just say the seller's left with $400,000 cash, they can go on their way. But if, let's just say the property is worth $1 million, but they got $1.2 million in terms of loan amount and also penalties. If the seller sold it for $1 million, they still owe the bank 250. That's going to be a different scenario. We call that a short sale. So there's going to be some different avenues where you're going to have to go with that. That's where you should probably maybe talk with your broker, your manager, look at the entire situation so you can see what's the best procedure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? I made a incorrect statement earlier, I believe, Angie, right? Karen Quit is actually going to be the one taking over section 2.
That'll be Ling Chow.
Oh, Ling Chow, I saw Karen hop in, that's why.
No worries.
Okay.
I don't see any other questions, and thank you, Kevin, so much for the informative presentation, answering all of our members' questions. At this time, we will take a break. It is 10:42 now. We will all resume at 11 a.m. Please do not sign off as your attendance is monitored and it may hinder your attendance if you sign off and come back in. We will all meet at 11 a.m. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the second half. You guys are going to be in good hands, and I look forward to seeing you guys out there in the field. Have a good weekend.
Oh, you're muted if you're talking to me.
I said, I see that I have shared. Let me try again. You see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I was sharing, but you guys didn't see it. That's weird. Okay, I think it is 10:59, counting down. I hope everybody's back. It's so hard to see if everybody's back or not because everybody is on Zoom and with no camera. So I don't know who's on and who's off. Or did you guys turn me on a radio mode?
Usually what I have them do, and if everyone is on, please go ahead and put here in the chat. This will be monitored to make sure that you are present for the second portion. Please put here, it is 11 o'clock and we will begin momentarily.
So we should have 17 participants today, right?
Yep, and it looks like everyone is here.
Okay, great. I'm glad they didn't turn me on the radio mode. Okay, welcome back to the second part of the new member orientation. And the second part, we're going to talk about multiple listing services. I am Ling Chow. This is a volunteer work for me. I started volunteer at the board back in 2004 or 3, I can't remember. But I've been a realtor member of our board over since 1992, 1994, somewhere around there. So I think I might hit my 30-year mark as a realtor. But welcome, I'm honored to be here to present you on the second portion. Kevin Kwong was our president as well, and he did a great job, and I hope I can follow his footsteps. Okay, let's start. And welcome everybody, and we're so happy to have you to join our board. So let me move my screen up because I can't see what I'm talking about. So multiple listing services, years ago, before multiple services was available, I actually had to buy a book. That book was, we call it the Blue Book. The book was about this thick, and it comes out every month. And I believe at that time, every book cost us about $20 a book. And we don't throw them away. So by our desk at our office, it was piled with listing books. And the reason we don't throw them away, because we want to see the history. We want to make sure that we can go back and find out what, if that property has been listed before, or any changes. So we have to go back and forth to the books before. By the end of the year, our office broker always says, hey, you guys need to clear that up because there's so many books he would get a truckload, and we had to come in one Saturday or Sunday and throw all the books to the truck. But it was very hard to say goodbye because we need the history of the listing. So another problem was that there was a lot of commission issues at that time because there's no commission sharing. So you have to say to the listing agent, hey, were you willing to share your commission with me? And sometimes verbal, of course, doesn't count, right? So yes, I won't, or I tell you 3%, but end up getting 2% or something like that. So there was a lot of issues before MLS with data histories and commissions. Let me move to the next slide. So many local association, I believe 12 of us, 12 local associations started the multiple listing services. So what is MLS? The MLS is a function of the Western Gabriel Valley Realtor, of course, right? We need that. It's make blanket and unilateral offers of compensation. That means that if you belong to an MLS, you automatically receive the commission that's stated on the computer, okay? Facilitate an orderly correlation of the dissemination of the listing information, helping agent to provide better service to the client and the public. So we rely on MLS so much now that I don't even know how to operate without being on MLS. So who can join? Any active realtor member of our member, WSGVR, may participate in MLS. Of course, because it's MLS, any licensed California real estate broker can be a participant. So salesperson who is not a realtor member of the Western Gabriel may obtain access to the MLS services through a MLS only broker participant by becoming MLS only subscriber. Salesperson under a realtor broker participant can only be a realtor subscriber. So what does that mean? So I'm sure that most of you that's on, probably all of you that's on the Zoom today are realtor because you joined the board, you joined California Association Realtors, you joined the National Association of Realtors. So you are now a realtor member. You guys see the R behind the realtor, and it's always capped because it's a trademark. Nobody, if it's a license and they're not a realtor member, they cannot use realtor at all in any of their letterhead, a business card, or anything like that. So there is a salesperson who is not a realtor member. They can only join the MLS if the broker is an MLS only. So MLS is somebody's coming in, Angie. So MLS is a breakfast. We have a breakfast meeting every Thursday morning at 8:30. 8:30 is because it used to be live. You see everybody sitting at the table looking up. That's our auditorium. If you haven't been, we used to have it every Thursday morning at 9:30, and it is chaired by the monthly MLS chairperson of the committee. So if you're interested in doing that, please let Angie know. There is a committee going on for every month. Opportunity to network with affiliates and other real estate profession. Please come and join. No other real estate. You know why? Because you don't want to be a secret agent, right? You want to have people know who you are. So when you make an offer, or you getting, if somebody make an offer to your listing, at least you know who the agent is, right? You have a face-to-face contact. It's easier to get to the door or offer if you know the listing agent well. Free industry update education classes. We have every Thursday morning, we have we invite a speaker to talk about real estate related issues. And we also have free we also have the weekly broker open house. You're welcome to come and pitch your listing. If and pitching is free, by the way, but if you don't show up to pitch, we do have a fine. And then again, of course, make friends. As this current time, we're not doing live, we're doing virtual meetings every Thursday at 9 a.m. We do send you out emails saying, please register for the Thursday breakfast meeting. If you do, please register and we'll send you a confirmation. So come in every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Hopefully we'll go back to live very soon. So we also have monthly commercial network meetings. So every second Tuesday of each month at 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Again, it's also virtual Zooming meetings. So they have opportunity to network with other commercial brokers, commercial related topics, and industry update at mostly education classes. You're welcome to pitch your commercial listings. And if you have any wants or need, you're also welcome to do that. Again, it's called making friends, get to know your colleagues. So again, because of COVID, it's been virtually MLS meeting, virtually commercial meetings every second Tuesday starting at 12 p.m. So hopefully, again, that we can move to live. So we have, of course, you're going to have CRS, and then you will have dispute and resolutions. There's a CRMLS rules and regulation. If you have any issues regarding someone, or you feel that there's a potential violation on the CMS, right? So you can click the bottom of the listing all the way to the bottom, and there's a saying that, do you report a potential violation? And a new window will come up, and you give them the information regarding the potential violation. Sometimes is picture violation, sometimes is description violations. You are always welcome to report, and all report is anonymous. Then nobody knows who reported it except the CRMS people. They can see that it's coming from your login. We also have ethics complaint. The realtor are bound by the code of ethics, which means you and me, right? We're realtor members of the National Association of Realtors. And violator of the code of ethics can be subject to disciplinary action through the professional standard process. So if you believe a realtor has violated any portion of the code of ethics, please call the association to report. And I think that Kevin has kind of go over with you about the ethics, code of ethics earlier. So you're welcome to, if you feel that way, you're always welcome to make a report. We also have the arbitration, which means money dispute. Arbitration is always about money. Money doesn't mean it's just commissions. It could be anything that related to money. Dispute that involve money arise within the real estate industry are settled through arbitration. So if you feel that your client's been cheated on, or any they have to give you some kind of compensation, a dollar amount, the arbitration is going through pro-standard hearing process. So if you have any issue on that, something like that, please call the association as well. Like I said, the arbitration is dollar, the ethics is complaints is something about you did something wrong, right? So the arbitration process will go into the professional standard committee hearing, and the hearing consists of 3, always odd number, because we need to have 2 yes or 2 no's, right? To make that happen. Majority rules. It has to be no less than 3 individuals. And we sit on the hearing, and these people are professional hearing committees who is qualified to be on the hearing panel. you have to be qualified to do so. And we, after that, you have the resolution, whether you're going to be fined or you're not fined. And if you feel that that is not satisfactory to your what they decided, you can request for review, or you can just accept it, no request for review, and that'll be final. The ethics complaints is about don't do that. Okay, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. So when you have an ethics complaint, the grievance committee will take over, and they will say, well, this individual, did they do something wrong? Do they violate any ethics, code of ethics? And if they feel there is, they will go directly to the professional standard committee hearing. There will be a hearing. Again, there'll be 3, no less than 3 hearing panels, and they will decide from both parties. You know, they will hear from both parties, and then they will decide whether this individual did something bad, or this individual is no violation is noted. If we make that decision at the hearing, after the hearing, and we submit it back to the complainant and the respondent, and you can also request for a director review, or you're satisfied with it, so no request is necessary. I hope you guys understand the process. It's kind of complicated. It's hard to do this in a very short time, but if you're interested to become a pro standard committee, you have to be on the grievance, I think, at least 2 or 3 years before you can move up to the professional standard committee. There is also training for both grievance and professional training. If you're interested later on in your career, want to volunteer on something like this, we always welcome new members. Going to the next slide. So be aware of antitrust law. What does it mean? So the Sherman Act, years ago, there was a Sherman Act, says every contract combination in the form of trust or otherwise, or conspiracy in restraint of trade is declared illegal. Conspiracy means 2 or more people agreeing to take certain action. So no discussion of standard commissions. All commissions are negotiable between clients and broker. So, you know, if your client is willing to give you 10% commission, congratulations. If the clients decide to give you $500 on your commission, you know, my head goes off to you. You're really doing it for free. So this is always a trust, and it had to be discussed. So beware of that. You cannot change anything unless it's agreed upon 2 people. Okay, agree upon between your clients and you. So the MLS data and system, we are a member of the California Regional MLS, short term for CRMLS. CRMS currently is the largest MLS system and services provided in USA. We haven't had anybody larger than us in the MLS system. When they talk about the MLS system, there's many companies that provide MLS systems, but CRMS currently is the largest. We have a support, which is 1-800-925-1525. And they do open from 8:30 to 9 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 3 p.m. They like chat better than calling in because they're very busy. They hire a lot of staff, but it's always not enough, right? I lost my little cursor. Here we go. So their mission is to deliver through local members association, most affordable, reliable, and convenient listing technology services available to provide production and services that support realtors in maximizing use of the property data to achieve business goal. that's what their mission is. So for the newbies, do you know that years ago we do not have MLS? So if you work with Co-op Banker, the listing stays at Co-op Banker. And if you want to see Century 21 listing, you're not able to see Century 21 listings because you had to go to and join Century 21 in order to see their listings. And this still currently is pretty much happening with the commercial listings too. But commercial, they have another MLS group, and they're very, very expensive. You can sign up by county. So each county costs different dollars. Let's see if you want Los Angeles County, Riverside County, Orange County, you're probably going to pay about $400 a month because that's a commercial group. And commercial hasn't really put together listings like us, which everybody can see. Everybody can be on the listing and look at it. So many years ago, we can't see other broker company listings at all. And this is not very uncommon if it's outside the United States. For instance, there are countries in England that they don't share listings either. Their listing goes to the bank. So if you want to buy a property, you probably have to go to the bank and say, do you guys have any listings? So not like us, we can see everybody's listing as long as they put it on the CRMS, right? So how much do we cover? We cover over 100,000 listings. And I think that's more now or less, but I think it's more than 145,000 real estate professional right now. We share data with other MLS systems, and we also reciprocal access to data required to log into a separate system and additional service area. So we have, based on you always can join NAR's choice of policy, and some zip code, regional are considered part of CRMS services based on current listing volume. So see the blue one is all the one that has signed up with CRMS. The light middle blue one, the data share color is like a blue, lighter blue. And the reciprocal access is all the very light blue. Additional service is only one location. So if you're asking me, what about the others, the other location, we don't really see them unless we log into their website, or you have to join their MLS services in order to see them. But basically you see everybody, literally just about everybody. I think the map is probably had to be updated a little bit, but it's a very interesting system that we can see. We can see San Francisco, we can see Northern California, we can go all the way down to San Diego. So we covering as of January 2021, I think it's 41 association, 15 data shares, 5 reciprocal, and 15 additional service area. So on the left, you can see all the participant areas. Okay, we used to have, it just, there's so many MLS that everybody wants to share of the industry, but we're trying to make it statewide, and we are pretty much statewide already. So what is the benefit to join CRMS? You can also go into MLS system, the CRMS metrics, Cloud MX. You can also see your listing on the mobile app, which is the CRMS app, Home Snap Pro, MLS Touch. They also give you free marketing tools, which is a Cloud CMA, Cloud Stream, eProperty Watch, InfoSpark Marketing Statistics, and finance. They'll have rate plug. So if you plug in what you client want to purchase and the amount they're going to put down payment, they'll calculate the payment and the rate for you. Okay, So all this is free, by the way. Continue listing syndication, List Hub, and multi-purpose platform, Realtor Property Resources, Remind, and Lion Desk. Schedule showing is free. If somebody says, please make appointment via schedule showing. By showing time, you can just click say, I want to come to this property at a certain time, and they will notify the listing agent, and the listing agent return will let you know. They let you know however you set it up by telephone. They call you back, or they send you a text saying, hey, your confirmation of appointment is confirmed. Networking, the new home source professional, you can check out the new homes that's available. And we do have international Proxio. You can look at worldwide listings and taxes, which we use quite a bit, the realistic tax web. It can tell you what the property location, APN number, what they're paying per tax, whether they bought it for, how much they still own, do they have a loan on the property? So all this information is free. You guys are so quiet. Are you guys okay? Okay, so I'm gonna move. It's so hard to talk to you on the screen by yourself. I only see myself too, okay? So I don't know whether I'm talking to computer by myself or you guys are still there. Hopefully we'll go back to live so I can see all your faces in front of me. Okay, so we do have Lone Wolf transaction, which is the form. It's where all the forms are available to you as a member. So Lone Wolf transaction is a form edition available online and downloads. So you have to download to www.car.org with the form, and you can download to your desktop. We call it standard version, or you can just go on the Form Plus, which is the cyberspace edition, okay, online version. Monthly live form training is happening next Monday at 9:30. So please register. And if you're new to our business, I highly recommend you to take the class, because two things that you'll use in your professional career here as a realtor is the zip form, that you need the forms to get listing or write offers. And the other one is the CLMS to search for listing or put up your own listings, right? So those are the two classes that I highly recommend you to take. There's no really training for realists, but CRMS class might have it, but they probably go over with you on that one. So I think their class is coming up. You're welcome to join for free. You can ask them if they do that, but I don't think they train that particular section realist, because there's not much to train. You just really is a viewing resources. It's information only. So NAR, as an NAR realtor member, they give you realtor property resources. So realtor property resource, short term from RPR, is it's access throughout the nationwide. So it is very it is good. I use it quite often. I used to teach that class, but I decided not to teach it because they change so fast and I don't even know what happened. It allows you to look at listing throughout the state of United States. So you can look listing in Florida, in New York, in Seattle, in Texas. If they have, they supposedly have connected to all MLS, right? So you can search more than 160 million on and off market property. And they also have commercial as well, but that's another thing that they're trying to do, and I think they're doing it very well. So why the NAR is very, very good is because they do a very good comparison analysis tool. So if you're going to go do a listing package, the RPR really does a very good CMA for your client, and it's automatic. You can select a lot of information, or you can condense it to very small. I once did one for my client, and he thought I was up all night doing it because the analysis and the graphics are so detailed that this particular client liked it so much. So, and it calculate the ROI for your client home improvement. It's also a great investment analysis tool. So if you guys have a chance, please go up. You can also send custom client-friendly report to your smartphone, iPad, Android tablet, or desktop. So if you're interested in looking at it, please look at narrpr.com. And also you can install the RPR mobile on your phone. When you log in, you need a DRE number, the NAR number, the NER number to log in. They don't accept local numbers. And you also have to put in the CRMS ID that when you log into CRMS in order to connect your information. But it's how do I say, it's great, it's good, but you really have to know how to use it because the information on that particular portal is overwhelming. So what is property resources? Oh, you know what? I have to come back again because what I did, I forgot to share the sound. So excuse me, let me stop sharing and come back again. Okay, let's try to play this video about realtor property resources.
As a realtor, you want the absolute best for your clients and customers. After all, buying or selling a property is one of the biggest decisions they'll make. But how can you provide them with the best information to make that decision? Typically, you could go to one place to get a few property facts, then to another place to research the local schools, and still another for local demographics. And for an even deeper dive, you could venture through several more places to learn the property history, what people are saying about the neighborhood, mortgage information, and so on. We understand you need to accurately assess what's best for your clients and customers, but the truth is, your time and money is being wasted tracking down all these facts from so many different places. That's where Realtors Property Resource comes in. RPR is the National Association of Realtors' exclusive nationwide property database for realtors. With access to over 160 million properties, RPR gives you access to the most comprehensive reports that are sure to inform and impress even the most demanding clients. No matter what your specialty is, RPR has partnered with hundreds of sources, including MLSs and CIEs across the country, to provide you with the most current, accurate, and valuable information in one centralized place. You will discover everything from school reports to census, demographics, tax data, foreclosures, mortgage information, mapping, distress data, flood zones, historic data, and so much more. That way, when your clients and customers come to you with every single question, you'll have every single answer. And because RPR is included in your NAR member dues, there is no additional cost. RPR, bringing realtors to the next level.
Okay, so it really tells you we have a lot of information on Realtor RPR. We don't teach that class anymore on our board, but I used to teach that class, but they only allow me to teach an hour and a half, and that has so many resources that an hour and a half is really not enough.
As a realtor,
what happened? Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, let me go. Okay, so where to find those useful tools? So when you log into CRMS, it's on the front page. It's on the first page. So we have the builders update, the CAR, the cloud CMA, all this. You're welcome to go in each one of them and to see what they are. And the resources on the bottom is something that you might need to know about education, listing distribution. If you belong to a company and you put up your listing and you say, how come it's not showing up in the everywhere in the internet on all the other websites, like maybe Redfins or I think Redfins and Zillow is automatically up there, but there's others that you might not be showing. You have to check with your broker. Maybe they did not do the listing distribution, which is here. Some company let you decide yourself, or some company just decided for you. So if you are not showing anywhere else, please ask your broker or your manager, did you do this listing distribution here? Before, I thought it was automatic. It wasn't. So, and if you don't want them to be distribute so widely in the websites, other people's website, you can also opt out. So California Regional MLS rules and regulation. This is very important because we do fine you. We do charge you if you don't change. We give you, tell you change it, you don't change it, then there is a fine. The fine comes from California Regional MLS. It's not coming from the West San Gabriel because every association is the same fine. So if you change to another association, you make a mistake, they still fine the same. It's not because we have the right to say, oh, we want this or this amount of money for this type of fine. So it's a set rules and regulation that everybody has to follow. So if you're interested, please, I would highly recommend you to take a look at the new rules and regulation. They do update quite often. And you can look at the CRMS compliance Q&A, which will probably explain to you for all the information you wanted. Excuse me. NAR, CRs, and CRMS implement the Clear Corporation effective May 1st of 2020. So NAR says, because whatever, NAR is nationwide, right? So when they change, we have to change. So the NAR approved Clear Cooperation Policy 8.0 stated that within 1 business day of marketing a property to the public, the listing broker must, remember, must, okay, submit the listing to MLS for cooperating with other MLS participants. Public market include, but not limited to, 2, flyers displayed in window, yard sign, digital marketing on public fence facing website. Brokerage website display include IDX and VOW. Digital communication marketing, email, that means email blasting, or nowadays a lot of people do Facebook. And for the Asian agent, they do a lot on WeChat. Multiple brokerage listing, listing sharing network, application available to general public. So this policy affects to residential vacant lot, residential 1 to 4 units, okay? So since the NAR approved this, we had to approve it too. So ours is the CRMS rule 7.9. So pretty much the same thing. Whatever the NAR stated, we do the same thing. So, but they have also added any individual entity has signed within the previous year the disclosure regarding real estate agency relation form in compliance with CA Civic Code section 2079-16 that identified listing brokers should not consider a member of the public under this rule. So, you know, you have to put it on market. If you sign your listing and one business day, okay, you have to put it up. You have to put it up. And if you ask me if my client doesn't want to be a CRMS on the multiple listing, there's a form that you have to tell CRMS that my client on this property does not want to be on CRMS. And with that form signed by the seller, you can opt out on all multiple listings. You probably wonder, how do they know if I didn't do this? How do they know? You know, I see TikTok, I see Facebook video, and they always start, they know, they do know, okay? They always say, how do they know? Yes, they know. So they will come and ask you, why did you do that? You have to prove that your seller did not want to be on MLS. If you can't prove that, they will find you. They'll tell you, hey, you did something wrong. This new coming soon status that we see quite often since May 1st of 2020 was requested by realtor member like you. So they're saying that most agents says, well, you know, I signed the listing, but I am not ready to put on the multiple listing because I might have to do staging. The property is not ready. I need cleaning. I need to do minor repair, or seller says I can't do showing until a certain date. So for that reason, but I want to get the listing now so I don't lose the listing. You can get the listing and you put it up as coming soon status. So once the listing agreement is signed, member must submit the listing to the MLS system, right? So coming soon status can be used for property that's preparing for market. Coming soon status will be effective up to 21 days. We give you 21 days. After 21 days, it's automatically become active on the 22nd day. MLS subscriber can search under coming soon. So it won't show up on Zillow or Redfin or any other real estate company that has IDX from CRMS. You can market coming soon property for sale sign with a coming soon rider on top and flyer and social media. But you are not allowed to show the property under coming soon status. So no showing, absolutely no showing, because you requested coming soon because you need to prepare the property. That's why we give you 21 days of coming soon. So if you start showing the property, that means you're no longer coming soon. You don't need to prepare the property to be on the market. So that's why we feel that no showing is allowed. You can market future open house while in coming soon status, but property may be converted to active status before open house is held. Doing coming soon status, buyer can submit blind offer. What is a blind offer? Means that you haven't seen the property, but I'm submitting offer to you. And seller can accept an offer with a blind offer by not seeing the property. That happens a lot when you see the description, the remark says on the bottom, the private remark says that property is subject to inspection. You see that quite often. So those are blind offers, okay? Are you guys understanding of coming soon? I hope I explained enough, but you probably wonder, how would they know, right? The answer is they do know. I don't know how they know, but they find out. Mostly is because anonymous complaint or violation status from other realtors. Maybe another realtor want the listing and didn't get the listing, has eyes on this listing and want to know when it's going to be on the market. And they scout the property, and when they see something happen, they'll report you. Gather all information before inputting your listing. So you need to, know all this, but we do have a form so you can fill it out first before you put it in. So you can click on listing information forms download for residential income, residential lease, land and lot listing, mobile home, commercial industry, commercial lease, and business opportunities. How to show your property. So follow listing agent showing instruction on the bottom. Some says appointment only. Some says call first. They can go direct. Keep watching your clients. Keep watching your client doing viewing. Secure the property before leaving. Call listing agent immediate if of any problem. So if the listing agent says appointment only, do not go to the property and knock on the door or use the lockbox without letting the listing agent know, because most of the time there's a reason for putting appointment only. It could be somebody still live at the property, or the property is under some type of renovation and they don't want you to go in unless they know, they don't want you to get hurt. Or call first, because sometimes it shows vacant, but maybe the owner come back or somebody came back and lived for a couple of days. Even with they can go direct, I always still text them and says, I will view your property doing, I see that your property is vacant, go direct, but I still want to let you know I'll be viewing your property on Tuesday at 9:30. And on that text, I always put, my name is Ling Chow. I'm from a certain company. My DRE number, I always put in my DRE number on any first contact text for anybody regarding real estate business. And I would like to view your listing property address and at what time. Please let me know if this will work. That's what I do. I think it's just common courtesy to let them know. And why do we have to watch your client doing viewing? Because you don't want them to get hurt, right? There are a couple times my agent showing house, and it wasn't even her. It was the group of people, they slammed the door on somebody's finger, or one fell because there was a puddle of water there. So they had to hurry up and call the listing agent, and the person was taken to emergency because the person fell on the floor, and they don't want anything happen to the person. Secure the property before you leave. There are so many times I asked the showing agent, please turn off lights, please close all door, please lock door before you leave. If it's a vacant house, please do that for them, because there's homeless people. They'll come in, they're trying to come in from the back door, the sliding door, the garage door, and all the doors that's open. And there are many times that they'll take the property. I have agent that went to a vacant house and was showing the property, and she went to the master bedroom. And this is a true story, by the way. She went to the master bedroom, she opened up the walk-in closet, and there was this person standing there. She screamed, and the person looked at her blankly, and she closed the door and says, let's go. So they left. There was also middle of the night, my agent got a call from neighbors saying that your front door is open. She went in, and the house was trashed. They paint the wall. They did drugs in the property. So please make sure you secure the property before you leave. And of course, call the listing agent with any problems. I'm going to go back to the last slide because somebody requested. So they're just saying gather information before you put in the listing. If you're doing the listing, there is a form. So you can go to CRMS and put listing input forms. Okay, let me move on. And we have the lockbox access report. We had to purchase lockbox, right? We talked about lockbox a little bit before in the morning, early part of this one. If you input a serial number of your listing registered to lockbox into your listing, then you can just click on lockbox report icon for your listing, and you can read a lockbox access history report of your listings. You can also show that to your client, saying there's so many people that went to see your house, and it's good to have a track record who's going in. But I also have it on my phone, access phone. So when someone goes in, I will get a notification, showing notification that so-and-so went in, and they usually tell me the time. The only time that I see, sometimes they're there for an hour or two, I don't understand that. So I call the Supra and I ask, why is this person in my property for an hour? So the Supra company told me the reason that it was showing for an hour is because this person probably showed your listing and did not continue to show another listing. So the key didn't register any more showing, so they take an hour to kick them out. Okay, so but it's always good to have a lockbox with the listing information, who show your property. We are asking you, very important, do not ignore compliance email. When you have a violation, you will get an email, and your broker manager will get an email regarding the violation. And because if you come from a large company, your broker or your manager may not see this, and because they have tons of email, and they might bypass it. But you will get an email from the compliance, and you must correct within 1 day of the receipt. Warning, must correct. Some violators do not trigger a warning message as a result of an automatic violation. They're getting really tough on this because they don't want it to have so much issues. Failure to timely correct a note violation will result in insurance of a citation. That means you will be cited, okay? I'm on the Pro Standard committee, and I do see hearing, and people will write us a long description, a history why they did not correct it. Number one is always telling us they never got the email, or they'll say because I didn't know there was a violation, or they're out of town, or they have the wrong email address. I mean, we see a lot, but as a hearing committee, we feel that you are professional. You're a real estate agent, you're a realtor member. You should know the rules and regulation. Unless you come with a reason that we cannot refuse, but the violation stands, okay? I'm just letting you know, it can go up to $1,500. So it's not cheap. Maybe more, I'm not sure. I think the highest I seen was 1,500 or I don't see 5,000 yet, I don't think. So we're going to tell you the top 5 MLS violations, okay? Please listen, because this is very important to you. The reason we give you top 5, we see this all the time, okay? Number 1, this is a very, very common one. Exterior photo is required. So at least one photo or rendering of an accurate outside property, okay, must be submitted to the MLS within 2 days of entry of the listing. So what do we see sometimes? You cannot have your photo, okay? When we were talking about exterior, we're not talking about the pool. We're not talking about a tree. We're not talking about a front door. We're not talking about a street view of the street. And we are not talking about aerial view that you probably crop from Google Map. Those are all no-nos, okay? Please understand, we need a very good front property picture, okay? And that property picture cannot have your office for sale sign, your name, your contact information on the picture of the front of the house. So remember, it's just a very plain front property view. Across the street, it's okay. Okay, but make sure if you have just the land, if you're selling a land or you're trying to sell a future property, you must show a rendering of that picture. Okay, so to help avoid this violation, you must add at least one photo or rendering of the exterior structure of the listing property within 2 calendar days of entering a listing into MLS. When we're talking about calendar days, we're talking about Saturday and Sunday, not business day. So Saturday and Sunday counts. Number 2 violation is branding photo media. Again, you cannot brand any media submitted to MLS is prohibited. I see this a lot. People say, oh, I don't do that. I never do that. On the window, you see a sign that says, call Ling Chao with what number? That's no. Okay, so cannot contain agent, broker, brokerage name on the photo or logo, telephone number, website address, email address, for sale, for lease sign, billboard, open house sign, promotion sign, and any other advertising material with identifiable information, and no people. But the other day I had a peacock and they said no peacock too. So I don't know. I was putting it Arcadia listing, and the seller says, hey, we should tell them that Arcadia has a lot of wild peacocks. So he sent me the photo, tell me to put it on MLS. And then I didn't think that was anything because it was just a peacock, right? So no animals. I tell you, I get it too, okay? You guys are not the only one. Even I teach this, I get it too, because I didn't know peacocks or dogs are not allowed. No animals. Mandatory submission. So the violation is the rule 7.8 occurs when the listing is not into the MLS within 2 days of the effective date of any listing agreement on 1 to 4 units residential. So if you get a listing, let's say I get a listing today, is Friday, I better put it on the multiple listing by Sunday, or else I'm doomed. Okay. So to help avoid this violation, you must enter listing into MLS within 2 days of effective days of the listing, which is defined either the beginning of the date of the listing period or the date seller signed was obtained on the listing agreement, whatever is later. Let's say you have the listing agreement for the seller to sign and you worked out on March 1st, and today is March 11th, and the seller just signed it. So we take March 11th as the date, and you have 2 days to put it on. Okay, that's number 3. We're going to number 4, misuse of public remarks and media. Okay, and this is kind of interesting because some people say, I didn't know, nobody told me. But you cannot use a public remark. Violating occurs when prohibit information, verbiage placed in public remark field. So how to avoid? To help avoid misuse of public remark violation, the public remark is when you put in the listing, the first listing is telling you how much price and what the square footage. And then you go to the second page, it says public remarks. You type in description of the property, right? People will say, it's gated community on a very nice, area of St. Gabriel or whatever it is. And those are the public remarks. They will go out to the public. Public will see it. So you cannot, it is important that the remarks in the property description fields only relate to the marketing, description, and condition of the property. You cannot put in, please contact Ling Chow at so-and-so, or my email address and so-and-so. You cannot do that. That's not allowed. And let me see the next one so I can go back to, okay. So there's also many things that you cannot put on there. You cannot say walking distance because you're discriminating against handicapped people that cannot walk. You cannot put in close to Target, close to Kmart, close to Whole Food. You cannot say that on those public remarks because you cannot identify major stores. Okay. The newest thing nowadays that you cannot say master bedroom. As of last year, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. We had the riot. And now they say you cannot say master bedroom. You could say major. What is the other one? I can't remember what they're saying nowadays. I can't remember what there's another term they say, but remember, master suite is no longer available. You're gonna get people say you're discriminating. Okay. I see a lot of people say walking distance. That's very bad. Like 5 minutes away, walking distance. If I can't walk, it's going to take me more than 5 minutes. So you can't do that. You cannot say 5 minutes. Driving, you could say nearby. Nearby is good. It's just a lot of little things that you just have to watch out because they'll tell you. Jonathan, I know that is insane. I what can I tell you? But there, because there's people who's gonna look at these descriptions, and it's not even really coming from us a lot of times. It's coming from people who will look at listing on the public in the cyberspace, and they'll come back and haunt you, and they say you're discriminating the race, you're discriminating handicapped people. It's, what can I tell you? So sometimes make sure when you write the public remarks, description of the property, just read it, see if it sounds okay. And then when you hit send, sometimes they'll pop up says what you're talking about might be offensive. So they'll hint you, okay? They'll give you a hint. And CRMS reserves the right to remove any remarks within the field that are found to be inappropriate. So the top MLS violation number 5 is accuracy information. So by putting in information into MLS computer database, the listing agent represents the information input is accurate and to the best of the listing brokerage knowledge. So how to avoid violation? If you're noted, please make all necessary change on the listing within 1 day of being advised of inaccuracy. So that means what is considered inaccuracy? Let's say you have a listing in San Gabriel, but you put a listing in San Marino. I see that quite a bit, okay? Because people will hit, I want San Marino, and you put in, your property still really is in San Gabriel, but you put it in San Marino to generate more search, and the price will go up a little bit because it's in San Marino, right? But if it is inaccurate, they'll come and get you. And the other thing I see quite often is that the property is only 800 square feet, and the seller says, no, I have 2,000 square feet because I did addition. So if you put 2,000 and the seller never got the permit, they did it themselves, and it didn't show up on the actual information, because we'll check the realist tax information. It shows 800, but you're showing 2,000 on your listing. you better put down on the back of it, it's because seller says. It's not from anywhere. It's not from you, okay? It's not from you. Just make sure that you cover yourself to make sure that you don't get in trouble. Okay, by putting information in, and what else is the area, what else is more responsible putting information MLS? I can't think of any other sample, but they'll come and get you. And you know, don't ask me how they know, because they do know. I was thinking about the one with the remarks. There was something else I was going to tell you guys. Can't remember. Sorry. Okay, maybe I'll remember later on. Let's move on. Are you guys okay with the 5 top MLS violations? You better have a very good reason why you violate it if you get fined, okay? Lockbox combination. Agent must recognize the combination lockbox is not very secure. Combination should be shared by unauthorized people easily. So agent shall never share a lockbox combination obtain the listing agent with anyone. Shield the lockbox from clients' prying eye while opening the combination lockbox. Always mix up the dial after opening and closing. So why do we need lockbox if we have so much problem with it? We sell lockbox here at the association, and I buy them. The reason I buy them is not to show for the buyer's agent, is for people that needs to go in, like my handyman that needs to go in to fix something, like appraisal that they can get in, but there's a lockbox, or termite inspections, or cleaning crew that needs to go in, right? If you only have a combination lockbox on your listing, it's not a good idea. If I tell, let's say I tell you my combo number is 001, and you are in the office working with somebody else, you say, oh, just go, it's combo number is 001. And everybody would know the combo lockbox is 001. And I would not ever know if agent A went in, agent B went in, agent C went in. So the Supra combo lockbox would let me know that who went in the property. And there was a true case, and this thing had a combo and give it to the buyer's agent. When the buyer agent was opening up, the buyer saw the combo and remembered it. And the buyer went in by themselves without the buyer's agent to see the property, because now they know the combo. And the listing agent happened to bump into the buyer without any agent and says, who are you? And the buyer says, oh, I'm here to see the property. I saw this property before, and I'm here to see it again. And the listing agent asked the buyer, how did you know the combo? Because I didn't give you the combo lockbox. And the buyer says, I just happened to see it from my agent. Is that true? Or the agent was too lazy to come and show the property again and give it to the buyer, and the buyer goes in and see the property themselves? There's a liability issue here. The other one is a classic. The property is in escrow and the listing agent had a combo and they didn't close. The buyer decided to move in themselves because they have the combo combination. So the buyer just moved in without, and listing agent saw the property and they, buyer moved in, property hasn't closed. And they asked, how did you know? Well, my agent gave me the combo and says I can see a property anytime. And since we're in escrow, so I moved in. That happens, okay? So combination lockbox is very important. Do not give to anybody unless you really, even the agent says, oh, you have a combo there. Can you just give me the combo because I don't have a Supra lock key. I don't think it's a good idea. Not a good idea. if you're going to give them that combo that day, you should go back and change the combo lockbox combination again. Okay, don't be intimidated by all the rules and regulation. Just remember 4 basic principles. Input all listing within 1 day of the listing agreement effective day. Make sure all information are accurate. Keep status and information up to date. Don't ignore compliance email, and you must act and respond. And treat everybody fairly with a professional courtesy. And you're welcome to visit the website to access the rules and policy in the CMS knowledge base. Okay. You know, getting your license for the new people who just joined as a be in this field of profession. Getting licensed really just opening up the doors as welcome in. There's a lot more to learn, a lot rules, a lot of laws on selling properties. Okay, I think all of you should go to any of our classes. We have so much classes with Weston Gabriel. We're known for a free education, a lot of free educations, and and learn as much as you can, because I've been in the business for so long. I have to tell you, I have to learn too, because things change. You know, like recently everybody was talking about SB 9, SB 10. Before it was the ADA compliance, you got to be complying. And then there was an ADU. Can you do ADU? What happened with ADU? So all of this you have to understand. Then we, forms. You have so much forms update, so many new forms coming out. So many forms are changed because laws are changed. So many information that you guys really have to get yourself educated, because I still do. I'm a broker. I was a manager. I help agents. I'm still learning. I don't know everything. So have a compliance question, please call them. They like to chat more than they call them, but you're welcome to visit the www.crms.org compliance to chat with a live person. And they're 8:30 to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. So we have a golden rule: do unto others as you would others do undo to you. It's like a tongue twister here. Just make sure that you treat everybody the way you feel that you should be treated. Basically, that's what I meant. And we want to welcome again to your very new professional or return profession. People ask me, how much do we make money? Do we make money? Making money is up to you. If you work hard, you will make lots of money. But you get depressed saying, oh, there's so many big agents out there. There's so many top agents out there. Do I get a chance to be that top agent? And the answer is yes, because all the years I have been in this business, I see top agent come and go. There used to be signs all over the place with one agent, and all of a sudden that agent's name is no longer, I don't see them anymore. And the other thing is, what business do you have that you don't buy inventory to sell? You don't need to buy a house to sell a house, right? So you don't need to storage. You don't need to have a warehouse to put your inventory to stock them. You don't need to rent a place to do retail, or currently a lot of people are selling online, right? So they still have to buy and sell it to you to make some money. The only difference is they don't have a store. We don't need a store, right? We don't need to have a warehouse. We don't need to buy a lot of inventory. All we really need is your cost of doing business is over, I think, I think 1,000 something, no more than 2,000 a year, then you can make 100, 200 times more what you put in. The rule of thumb is that if you make $10,000 a year, 10% of them go to advertising. That's the rule of thumb, but a lot of people are not doing that anymore. So I hope, and I hope you enjoy our today's orientation, and I hope that you guys will see us live in our auditorium. And we do own our own property, so you have joined a very stable local association that you don't have to worry will go bankrupt one day. We're very financially well, and hopefully you come and say hello when you see me, because I will not know who you are. I don't see your faces. I just see some names. So enjoy, and hopefully we don't have masks, and you can come on Thursday breakfast meeting, enjoy some donuts that we're famous for. So have a great day, have a great weekend, and enjoy. Thank you. Any questions? Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, Ling, for this informative slideshow. For anyone that has questions, you are able to unmute yourself. All the participants will get a follow-up email by early next week with a recorded version of this presentation, and the recorded version, of course, includes the slides. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or put it in the chat box.
Mostly, I guess not. No question for me, huh? You guys are easy for me. You guys ask so much question with Kevin. I'm jealous. Oh, by the way, I'll be teaching a Monday class for the zip form. Please join us. It's a free class. It's a 3-hour class. The first portion of the class will be very basic. And the second portion will be talking about DocuSign, digital ink, and touch sign. So you guys are welcome to come and sign up, and I'll hopefully see you guys on Monday at 9:30. Okay, I think that's it, Angie.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone for joining the new member orientation. Everyone have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.